Welcome. This is our report, week 13. Learning to be a better learner. The idea falls under the concept of metacognition. Metacognition is commonly defined as thinking about thinking. It is the awareness. Metacognition enables the person to adapt their existing knowledge and skills to approach a learning task, seeking for the optimum result of the learning experience. American Institute for Research 2010. Metacognition. Thinking about one's thinking. More precisely, it refers to the processes used to plan, monitor, and assess one's understanding and performance. Metacognition includes a critical awareness of one's thinking and learning, and oneself as a thinker and learner. Metacognition has two aspects, self-appraisal and self-management of cognition. Self-appraisal is your personal reflection on your knowledge and capabilities, while self-management is the mental process you employ using what you have in planning and adapting to successfully learn and accomplish a certain task. Self-appraisal aims to help students think about their own learning more explicitly, often by teaching them specific strategies for planning, monitoring, and evaluating their learning. Then, self-management is as a tool of increasing metacognition and self-regulated learning. Self-management is a reflective process where students use criteria to evaluate their performance and determine how to improve. Under metacognition knowledge, there are several variables that affect how you know how you know or assess yourself as a thinker. First, personal variable. Personal variable, which is the evaluation of your strengths and weaknesses in learning. Second, task variables. Task variables, which is what you know or what you think about the nature of the task, as well as the strategies that task requires. Lastly is strategy variables. Strategy variables refers to what strategies or skills you already have in dealing with certain tasks. However, it must be noted that in order to make self-appraisal and self-management work, you must have an accurate self-assessment. You must be honest about you know and capable of in order to find ways to utilize your strengths and improve your weaknesses. The following are the other skills that can help you in exercising metacognition. Knowing your limits. Knowing your limits also looks at the scope and limitation of your resources so that you can work with what you have at the moment and look for ways to cope up with other necessities. Knowing your limits, you have to define what exactly is too far or too much for you in order to know how much you can achieve without negatively impacting your mental health. Setting boundaries means specifying to the people in your life what you can give and share, but also what you need from those relationships. To have a clear idea of what you are capable of or how good you are. Modifying your approach. Recognizing, for example, that you are not understanding what you are reading. You should learn to modify your strategy in comprehending your material. Noticing whether you comprehend something you just read and then modifying or your approach if you did not comprehend it. Choosing a scheme, subheadings, and important information to get the information you need. Teaching students how to think about how they think and how they approach learning. Skimming. This technique works best when you want to get an idea about the contents of reading material when you are trying to read through several material in a limited time frame, or when you want to focus on certain details among others. Skimming. Reading rapidly in order to get a general overview of material. Scanning is reading rapidly in order to find specific facts, while skimming tells you what general information is within a section. Scanning helps you locate a particular fact. Rehearsing. Rehearsing, one of the fun ways to do this is by imagining yourself being interviewed about your task. As you try to convey about you have learned from the resources, you also insert your opinions of other personal take on the matter. Rehearsal is important because it allows you to practice different parts before you actually deliver the total speech to an audience. Rehearsal is important because you can put the effective parts back together to create a total speech in practice before delivering it in front of the actual audience. Number 5. Self-test. This is trying to test your comprehension of your learning experience through the skills you have acquired during learning. You can make essay, questions, or definition of terms test while you are reading or watching a material. You can challenge yourself in completing a task successfully. Self-testing is also effective because it helps students identify gaps in their learning, which is important for self-correction. Self-testing helps you to get better in retrieving information you learned. Four types of metacognition learner. First, the tacit. Tacit, learner goes through thinking process without being aware of it. Second, the aware. Learner is aware of thinking process but does not organize it. Third, strategic learners. As the name implies, strategize and plan their course of action toward a learning experience. Strategic learner organize thinking using implicit strategy. Reflective learners. Reflective learners on their thinking while they are using the strategies of adapt metacognitive skills depending on their situation. Reflective learners considers thinking and how to improve throughout the thinking process. The goal of metacognitive is the student to be a self-regulated learner. You should have a capability to study things on your own as well as accurately evaluate your progress.
Other tips that you can use in studying are the following. Number 1, make an outline of the things you want to learn. The things you are reading or doing or the things you remember. Number 2, break down the task and smaller in more manageable details. Number 3, integrate variation in your schedule and learning experience. Number 4, try to incubate your ideas. Number 5, revise, summarize, and take down notes. Then reread them to help you summarize cramming in the last minute, especially when you have a weakness and memorizing facts and data. And the last number 6, engage what you have learned.
Thank you, ma'am. That's the end of our report.